All right, I'm Connor from thriteen. We're here at Sea Otter in Monterey, California. We're launching two new cassettes this year. We've got a 950 TRS Plus that's going to give you 556% range. That is the most on the market by far. And then we've got a 946, and that's an 11 speed. And this one's actually e-bike rated. The first 10 cogs are all steel, so you've got great wear and it can take a lot of torque that those e-bikes typically deliver. Um, and on both of these cassettes, the aluminum cluster, which is the biggest cogs, the two biggest cogs on the 950 and the single biggest cog on the 946, those are all replaceable. So if you end up wearing those out, you can just order another aluminum cluster, and it's about 80 to 100 bucks, and you won't have to get a whole new cassette. Both of these mount to an XD driver only. The aluminum cluster will sit down onto the spline there. You'll tighten a 3mm bolt to clamp it, and then the steel cluster attaches to that aluminum. You no longer need two chain whips to uninstall our cassettes, which everybody loves. You can use a standard cassette tool. Just drop that spline into the 9-tooth and hold it steady with chain whip on the bigger cogs, and then you can just use that cassette tool to back off the steel cluster. So it's a lot more user friendly. There's no proprietary tools or lock rings or anything like that, and we're lighter, more affordable, and way more range than the competition. So it's a great upgrade for your Eagle Drive train once you finally burn that Eagle cassette out, or if you just want to get a little bit more range and have that edge. And that's what's going on with the trail cassettes. We've also got 3 new gravel cassettes coming out. We're entering the gravel market. We have a 934 tooth that's available now, and coming soon we have a 939 and a 942. Those are all 11 speed. That 934 is particularly advantageous for gravel riders who want those really tight gaps between shifts, but they still want to have that range and not lose anything on the top end. That's where the 9-tooth really shines with the gravel crowd. And speaking of gravel, we've also got some carbon gravel cranks coming out. Those are the reintroduction of the XCX line that we used to have years ago. It's now come back in the form of high-end carbon cranks. And so we've got the lightest mountain bike crankset on the market. That's the XCX Race carbon crankset. That's the lightest mountain bike crankset in production today. And then we've got a shorter spindle on that model basically for the gravel crowd as well. We've got some lighter chain rings. Those are the XCX chain rings. And we've got those everywhere from 32 to 42.